Welcome back, Finca family, to part 2 of interviews of Meet the Owners. This week we're filming the intro from another slightly more glamorous inside spot because it's still super windy. So we thought you could have a little look at the yurt why there's no one in here. So in this week's interview, you're going to hear us talk about much more about the animals, less about us, more about our future plans, our sustainability projects, everything, how it's all eco and the animals we have now. And in my opinion, it's much more interesting. It's much less about us and much more about the important reason we're all here, the animals. So enjoy. Don't forget to like, ask us any questions you have in the comments below, and to see you the other side. Enjoy. I'm Emma and this is Edu. We're the founders of Tenerife Horse Rescue.
We are a small non-profit, self-founded, eco-friendly animal sanctuary born in 2018. We are run by a great big family of volunteers.
And an even bigger animal family. Don't forget to press the subscribe button to follow our Finca Life adventures every week.
Let's go to the most important topic, which are the animals.
Oh, okay.
First, I would like just to know a little bit about how is the animal welfare situation on the island. Why do so many animals need rescuing here? Because the island is not that big.
No.
You can answer.
Well, it's sad. It's surprising because the first look on these islands, they are beautiful. Well, they are beautiful. It's an amazing place. You don't expect to find kittens in the bin and dogs thrown away in the barranco and horses tied up. I think it comes from a lot of ignorance. People don't know how to look up. This is not everyone, of course. There are some really good vets, they're really good pet owners, and things are going in the right direction. But it's still really common to find dogs, babies, puppies, kittens thrown everywhere because it's cheaper than castrating a dog, which is really strange because some of the vets are offering, really discounted prices and knowledge about it. So I find it even weirder that it still happens, but it does. And horses as well. Horses are considered a hobby, not a pet. And it's really expensive to keep a horse here because you don't have any food here, nothing grows. So people are paying around 300 euros a month, or maybe more in some places, to keep, I think bigger ones are more, 300, 400 euros a month to keep a horse in a stable, in a place. So if you can't use your hobby, people aren't going to pay 400 euros a month to keep it. So when it's considered useless, if it's hurt or old, that's when they get abandoned or sold on. It's a lot of ignorance, but it's hopefully going in the right direction. And we're here to try and help. But we have to tread slowly. We can't be seen to be, we're foreigners after all. This is not our place. We don't want to come in and say you're doing it wrong. We just want to say, look, there are other ways. Even in my years of horses, things were incredibly different. It was normal even then to, get rid of your old horse. But now, that's in my time, things are already massively different. So it's going to go in the right direction. But unfortunately, at the moment, it's still really poor, the animal welfare overall here.
So how do you find the animals that need rescuing?
That is easier.
Yeah, everywhere.
Normally they call us.
Yeah. Or turn up here.
Or turn up.
Yeah, not the horses though. That's different. We work with a local guy, native guy, who may or may not steal them out of situations. We don't really know. We don't want to ask because we're just. He does the dirty work for us sometimes, and we just pay him to deliver them here, and then we take them on from him. But others are sold. Many of them are sold as riding horses because they're drugged up and they're told that they're fine. Like Shanti, for example, he was totally drugged up, with nerve damage on his face. After 2 days, the drugs wore off. He couldn't even walk a meter, but he was being sold as a riding horse because, they want the money, and it's like selling a car. You lie about where it's broken and sell it on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's how often it's seen here, unfortunately.
Do you have any, well, I'm sure you have, but I would like to hear about it, any, I wouldn't say heartbreaking, but like any really good stories about like really giving a new life and opportunity to an animal that was, you doubt that it's gonna make it, or like anything like that?
But
Turbo.
one of the biggest, no, not one of the biggest, sorry, one of the clear example that even you saw it yesterday. We had in the last weeks we are trying to help another dog center that has really a lot of dogs,
big one.
and as we have space, we are trying to get someone and make it part of our family. The only problem with us is that most of our animals are open, so the dogs, as every other animals, have to learn to live together.
The imaginary boundaries.
So sometimes they cannot, because they have some instinct that they don't let stay with the duck or chicken or the animals. And these dogs in particular couldn't stay with the ducks or chicken. And but was old dogs, was fatty. So we look for a new home, and we were not expecting a lot, because normally all the really fat dogs is really difficult. But suddenly yesterday morning a really lovely couple called us, and in a couple of hours they were here and they were getting the dogs, and that was really like something unexpected, and really like, see, wow, we did it, we found a home for the old Porky.
But that isn't even, that's quite a common story. I mean, that one is nothing. I mean, they're all lovely. Well, that's true, it happened yesterday. But they've all got totally different stories. But Trufa, that's a nice one. He's a good one. He was he was doing endurance. He was used for endurance racing, and he was quite famous on the island. And he did like 120-kilometer races and regularly won them. And he was in the newspaper, and we still got clippings of him. And he was sort of famous on the island until he had an injury. We don't know exactly what, broke his leg somehow, but he was never going to be ridden at that competitive level again. Not ridden, but that
from
level.
The pictures and on the newspaper, you could understand it. Because I don't know
yes,
if it was
we've seen
him
videos.
Or the person riding him.
That as well. But they're very, very rough. He's beaten to move faster and faster and faster. So he was then left, and I think actually for him it's a blessing in disguise, because although he walks with a limp now, he's so happy. He's got his mummy who comes every day to take him out for a walk, just in hand like a dog, and he's out rolling and he's put on weight. He looks beautiful now, and he's really got a lot of character now, and so it's a blessing in disguise for them. Although
now he's a baby, a spoiled baby.
I know.
All the time. He's been spoiled by the mummy.
I know, he's so lucky. So that's a really lovely story. He came from, although he seemed like he was healthy then, but I mean, he was beaten to win. So that was but that's also a common story. Turbo's is similar. He's famous on the island for show jumping. Then he got too old. He was abandoned twice, and we got him the second time. Yeah, because he was not good enough anymore. That happens really often. Eric, we got as a baby. That was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
I don't understand how we rescued a 3.5-year-old baby, especially a cob that
Beauty.
Don't know, but you couldn't touch him. He was terrified. You remember?
Oh.
You couldn't get near him, and he was run away from you and panicking and shaking. And now he owns the finca, and he's horrible to all the horses, and he's super tough with humans now. He's definitely not nervous anymore. And look at him now. He's big, strong beauty. That's another.
Gorgeous.
But Frog, oh my God, it goes on. Frog, I found out is a kitten that I found out whilst riding once. Found her in the bin. She had 3 broken legs. Her tail was hanging off. I put her down my bra and galloped home because I thought she was going to die. I remember I got there, I was like, Adu, help! And I got the kitten out in the bra, and we had to resuscitate her, and now she owns the finca as well. These ones are the toughest ones.
With my baby princess.
Yeah, she also walks with a little limp. Why we call her Frog.
Frog.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. We touched a little bit on the topic of well, you mentioned that all the animals are running free on the finca. So, what is the philosophy behind how you treat the animals, and why everyone is running free and being actually a real farm?
But my answer is really easy. The
To
world,
make them as happy as possible.
Yeah, but the world is owned by any kind of animals. The only animals that we have to close is the big one, because if not, they destroy the finca in half day.
Pepper, you're talking about.
Pepper or the horses or the goat.
But even those, they're when you say free, I mean they are free to a level. They're not as free as I'd like them to be, but hopefully once we've fundraised and got this new land, they're going to be a bit more free because it's going to be massive. But like, for example, Pepper is free to walk into the horses if she wants to, but she's also got a small bit where she can get to and the horses can't. So she's protected if she wants privacy, but she's free to go out if she wants to. And the chickens and ducks are totally free because we have dogs, which, like we said before about Porky, we have to be careful. We're not a dog sanctuary, however, we have 15. We keep the ones, you know, the older ones, the sick ones, the ones that respect our lifestyle here. And if they don't, we built a run for them. We keep them here until they find a home. So it just makes it a bit more difficult. The cats are all free, except the ones with leukemia, unfortunately. But instead of putting them to sleep, we built a big run for them.
All right. You are also an advocate for Barefoot Horses. Why is that?
Yes, I'm very, very strong believer in barefoot and natural ways and positive reinforcement with horses. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I started like everyone else does. I had shoes on my horses, I rode them with a bit, and I learned that way, and that's how it was. But something didn't sit right with me, and I thought, I don't know, why are we nailing a piece of metal onto their feet? Why am I pulling on their mouth with a bit of metal? So I sort of looked into it more and evolved into it more. They're animals. They're not made to serve us, if you like. And so I looked more into it. I studied and researched and saw why we put shoes on in the first place, and it all seems human-made, you know. People don't realize. I didn't realize that horses could be so easily barefoot. It just involves what we feed them and the way they live. I mean, if we keep them 100% of the time in a stable, they're not getting adequate movement. And I mean, this is a really long topic, and I could talk forever, and maybe we'll touch this on another one. But it's basically, I just saw how good it is for their welfare to be free. They need to get their frogs hitting the ground. They need to get their blood pumping, and it's not just about the barefoot for me. It's about horses being as natural as possible, having a choice, having a voice to say what they want. I mean, I studied their body language, their movement, so you can understand when they're happy, when they're comfortable, when they're in pain. And horses are really, they're really open, and you can really read them if you understand how. So everything I do towards horses and the training is all positive, and we want them to be happy. They've all served most of them have served their life here of being used to do things they probably didn't want to do, and now they don't have to anymore.
Okay, so you are in the process of buying new land to expand the finca. What are your overall plans for this place, for the sanctuary, for the finca itself?
Should we stop at this bit of land, or is it just going to keep going?
Well, just
Bye.
Something happened. Go on, Nonna.
well, on this project, we don't really have a end point. We're just at the beginning. And so as we saw what we've done in 2 years without any experience
help. Financial help as well.
and financial help, and now that we are getting a bit
Well,
bigger
a loan.
and with a bit much more experience, I honestly don't know where we can arrive in the future.
We want to be able to stop. Sorry, I cut you off there.
It's exciting but almost scary.
Yeah, exactly. We want to be able to not turn horses away, or animals away as well, because dogs and cats, because we're limited on space. At the moment, we have to look at horses. We have a waiting list, and we have to say, you're not sick enough. You know, you don't need our help enough, and that is a horrible thing to do. So, Chewy, don't knock the table over. Come here, Chew. Come. Oh, all right. So we don't want to have to say no just because we can't fit them in.
Oh.
So we want to create a really big paradise paddock or track system. Hello. And so that the horses have more movement and more freedom and can be as healthy as possible. So that's the main thing. And then we're keep expanding, keep up to the demand of animals.
The answer is also we don't really know, because we had one holiday since we bought this place, and we went to a place for a wedding, so it was a nice occasion, blah blah. But we found a way to immediately think to open a new center in a new place, because we went to the countryside, and we discovered that also in that place need something like what we are building up here. So I don't have a real answer to that question.
Nope, I don't know where it's going to end. Where we work all day, every day, but we love it.
The only answer is that we don't stop.
What we can do, yeah. And it depends how many people join us. I mean, the amount of volunteers that are coming back and wanting to stay longer and that can like really grow our community. And then if we have people that really sort of stay, we can go bigger and bigger. And and how much money we can fundraise, let's be honest. We are now, because this bit of land we wanted to get, we had to do it now. We are nowhere near ready to have the money to buy it, but it was already in a pre-contract to someone else, to the windmills, and if we didn't buy it now, we wouldn't get it. So we had to borrow a lot of money. It means we're not going to be able to probably build on it or do anything, but we've got it. So we need to grow and grow and grow until hopefully, you made a good point. We got this far without Iggy. I was saying how wonderful you are. What are you doing? Come here. Iggs. So we are reliant totally if we can pay back the loans and we can grow our online following and Patreons. If you would like Insider and if you could help and you want to get involved for the price of a coffee, you can support us on Patreon. And these are the people that are helping us, build foundations monthly income, so we feel confident enough to expand and pay back and rescue more horses. And so we are unfortunately reliant a lot on what we can afford. But whatever we can afford, whatever we can do, we will do it because we want to. So we're reliant on.
And
so
because, as you said before, we are trying
we have
to
no
we are trying to give
limit.
we are trying to give to the animals a voice. So I don't think I'm never gonna stop to do that.
Mm-mm.
Well, that brings me to my last question, which is probably one of the most important ones. How can people actually help?
Well, plenty of ways. I mean, absolutely, there is so many ways in which you can help, and it doesn't even just mean financially. If you can't donate to us, we understand everyone is in really difficult times. But if you see us on social media, like our post, comment on it, share it. It may seem like a silly little thing to do, but everything helps. It all helps with our algorithms, which helps to get us shown more, which ultimately might just get us shown to the person who can financially help us. So this is on every platform, YouTube, which is where you're watching this now, Facebook, Instagram. Social media is the way. We need to get everybody to see us, so that is one big help. Obviously financially, I just commented on Patreon.
Instagram, take a picture.
Yeah, come and say we're building an Instagram wall. Come and take a photo of our Instagram wall. And but also if you're here, I mean, you can come and see us. You can turn up with a bag of cat food, bag of apple cider vinegar, silly little things you can pop in your supermarket trolley without your husband knowing. And you can pop up, and every little thing helps. Just help spread the word. And if you would like to sponsor an animal, I say you can do that. Or if you'd like to sponsor a video.
Well, that is one way.
Yeah.
That is one way, because then there is thousands of other ways.
Yep, volunteer.
Because when volunteer, when the people clean their own house or make some reform, most of the stuff they throw it, dump it in my land, no problem.
Don't dump it all in our land. Give us a call.
Give me a call, I come and collect it.
You would be surprised. I mean, people's rubbish is. I mean, you've seen our bottle walls that came from glass bottles that were getting thrown away. There are many, many ways you can help. But...
Oh, yeah, we are at the moment we cannot see anything made by wood, but any wood that we are using,
any material,
come from the bin. Since the lockdown, all the metal come from the bin. All the food for the little animals come from the bin. And
don't throw anything away.
That is another little way to help us. If all the waste of organic waste, save it. Don't put it in a normal rubbish. Save it, give it to us, or for the animals, or to make compost is always useful. It's really, when you open your mind, you're gonna see that a video of what is around us, we can use it again and again.
That doesn't just mean materials. If you're a horse person watching this video and you've got old things you don't need, head collars, lead ropes, brushes, anything you don't need. These are all super useful for us, and everything saves. Any way we save money also makes money, because every penny saved goes directly towards more rescuing more. Every penny we make, whether it's the rental, that's another way. We're not quite ready yet, waiting for paperwork, what a surprise. We will do rental, which goes directly into the sanctuary. So every penny spent on that holiday will go directly to the animals, because as you heard, we live in a very, very basic lifestyle. So we don't have any overheads personally. So every single penny goes to the sanctuary. There's no paid staff, so there's no advertising costs. Every penny you donate to us goes directly to helping animals.
Just to point it out, like for make you understand how we dress, also
From the bin.
from the bin, or from some again, some people that clean the wardrobe and make bags and normally put it next to the rubbish, to the bin collector, and here they are, just a second use, a second hand. Thank you.
You even helped just by making it through this incredibly long video. This will definitely pump up our YouTube time, as we've talked for what, maybe 3 hours. So thank you very much for your support. If you've enjoyed or made it through this really long video and were interested in anything we had to say, and you want to ask us more questions, we're going to do this more often. So you can ask us questions directly here on YouTube, or if you want to get to know us even more, you can on Patreon. We're always open chatting to everyone. But we want to know your questions, we want to know your feedback, and we can answer anything in our upcoming videos.
And if we can spread out some of our knowledge to someone that want to learn it, really happy to share all our knowledge with all of you guys.
And vice versa, if you've got anything to teach
And
us,
if you
we want to learn that too.
If you have any sustainable project that you would like to share with us, thanks.
Come here and join
Please
in.
send to us or come here and we can do it together.
All right, Emma and Edo, thank you so much again for taking the time. You are definitely an inspiration to many. So keep up the good work and good luck.
Thank you for doing the video for us.
Thank you, and see you soon in another center.
Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell. So thanks for watching part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought down below. And if you have any more questions, we can always do another Q&A. And there's plenty of questions we didn't answer. And apparently we're good at talking. So let's hit another one. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you all for making this possible. Without all of you, without our followers and our Patreons, this could not be possible. Thank you very much. And if you want to join the Insider team on Patreon, you can at patreon.com Tenerife Horse Rescue. Sponsor an animal, see all insiders, see more chats with me and Edu, and enjoy. Thank you very much. Bye.